Right. A very, very good evening to all of you. Namaste, and thank you for coming in. A big, big thank you. And I do see quite a lot of familiar names in the audience today. And I know you must be fed up of me probably saying this every single time I meet you. I really, really appreciate you being here at this time. You've had that whole day at work, and you're still sitting here. You're still finding time to attend this, to learn a bit more, to actually upskill yourselves in some manner or the other. So really, really appreciate that. And again, thank you for being here. And what we'll do is we are going to keep a tab on the chat throughout the session. Every once in a while I am going to come back and I'm going to check if there is any questions, any issue, any doubt that you might have been facing. Right, I'm also going to open the Q&A feature. So one small thing I will request you all to do, since we're a large group here, it might be difficult for me to look into the chat every single time. So on your screen itself, on the right hand side itself, where the chat box is, you'll also see a Q&A option right there. So if I may request you all to please, if there is a doubt or a question regarding the contents that I'm talking about, please make sure you write that question there so that I don't miss out in the chat box. And of course, the chat can keep going on. You can actually talk to each other. You can understand if there's any little thing that you like, you don't like, you have you have a feedback on it. You can always keep putting in the chat box and keep having a conversation um, with your co-educators and your co-participants today. So again, I'll repeat myself. If there is a particular question, a particular doubt, please make sure that's put in the Q&A feature so that I don't miss out on that. Right. And one important thing, the session today is going to be a mix of English and Hindi. हम लोग दोनों भाषा में बात करने वाले हैं. So it's going to be a bilingual thing. Again, at any point in time, आपको अगर ऐसा लगता है कि सेशन थोड़ा सा ज्यादा इंग्लिश होना चाहिए या थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हिंदी होना चाहिए, whatever kind of feedback that you have at any point in time, please again keep writing in the chat box, and I'll try my best to navigate accordingly. So otherwise, if I don't get any feedback, it's going to be a mix of both of them, kind of a 50-50. तो ताकि क्योंकि हमारे पास बहुत सारे आज एजुकेटर्स हैं जो अक्रॉस इंडिया से ज्वाइन करके आए हैं, सो आई वुड लव टू मेक श्योर कि हम सब समझ पा रहे हैं व्हाट एवर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. Lovely. So getting started, and first and foremost, I will start with the introductions. This is Miss Sani. Of course, I'm sure quite a lot of you right here are already aware about her, have attended her sessions. आप लोग already जानते हैं. She is the leader of Mahattattva team, and I think she will drop in at some point today because she had some engagements today. But pretty sure she's going to come in at some point and going to say a hello to all of us. Then, of course, I am going to be here for the session today. I'm the manager here at Mahattattva, and I am a Google certified trainer, an innovator, a champion. Okay, right here, I am going to stop for a second. All the Google for Education champions right here, just send me a heart, the emoji. And I am going to just send a heart emoji. I'd love to see who are the Google champions in my session today. Lovely. Okay. Perfect. I can see. So just in case, जो बाकी लोग जो wonder, if you're wondering, Google champions is basically आप लोग जब Google certified educator level 1, level 2 करने के बाद, there are 3 things that open up for an educator. You can apply to become a Google certified trainer, a Google certified coach, or a Google certified innovator. आप अगर इन तीनों में से कुछ भी हैं, then you're a champion. So that's why I asked, and thank you. I can see quite a lot of hearts, and जो भी champions हैं, I again can see quite a few of the familiar names. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. And again, before I start with the session, like I always say, I understand शाम का टाइम है, शायद आप लोग आराम से एक बेड में बैठे हुए होंगे. मैं होती तो मैं भी बेड में ही होती अभी. लेकिन if possible, please turn on your cameras. I'd love to see your faces. I'd love to know who is there in the session with me today, and would love to see the actual people, or ताकि पता रहे सबको सबको याद होगा कोविड के टाइम पर जब ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में हम स्क्रीन्स को पढ़ाते थे और बच्चों के पीछे पढ़ना पड़ता था कि कैमरा ऑन करो. So just reminding you about that little thing. So please do turn on your cameras as well. And coming to the session today, the agenda for today, what we're going to talk about today is specifically Google Classroom, right? Google Classroom में क्या क्या नए फीचर्स आए हैं, किस तरह टीचर्स उन फीचर्स को यूज कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या नए फीचर्स आने वाले हैं, राइट? सो हम काफी सारी इन चीजों के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं. हाउ कैन यू मेक यूज ऑफ Google Classroom to personalize your learning, to differentiate your learning. हम we talk about this quite a lot कि क्लास में differentiation करना चाहिए, लेकिन let's face it, बहुत आसान नहीं होता एक क्लासरूम के अंदर differentiation करना. So Google Classroom can help us in some little way, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about किस तरह Google Classroom अब काफी सारे different external apps के साथ integrated है, तो हम उसके बारे में बात करने वाले हैं. And of course, as I said, there are a few features that are coming up, some top requested features from educators like you and me. हम लोगों ने ही कुछ features request किए हैं और हम लोगों के लिए ही वो features जल्दी ही आने वाले हैं. So we're going to talk about those as well, right? All right. Before I start, if I may request everybody, I am sorry because हमारा call बहुत बड़ा है, बहुत सारे participants हैं. I will not be able to let you turn on your mic during the session. As I said right at the start, कोई problem, कोई doubt, कोई query, please keep writing in the chat box. आपको कुछ share करना है, chat box में लिखिए. आपको कोई question है, तो please Q&A feature में लिखिए, ताकि मैं miss ना कर पाऊँ. Great, lovely. और मुझे दिख रहा है, I have people from across the country, and thank you all for being here. Right, we are going to get started immediately, and we're going to get started with how can we make use of Google Classroom to personalize our learning, our teaching and learning process, right? Now, okay, first thing, a thumbs up in the chat box, a thumbs up in the meet, अगर आपने read along app के बारे में सुना है. Are you aware about what is read along? Okay, quite not many of us, as I see. All right. Okay. May I request, please emoji reaction कर दीजिए. जो आपके meet में emoji reaction का option होता है. If you just click on that. All right. So just for the others, read along is basically a mobile app, right? And you will be very, very happy to know, originated in India. It started off as a mobile app. However, it has turned into an integration within Google Classroom now. Now, how has that happened, right? Basically, as I said, Read Along is a mobile app जो start हुई थी इंडिया में, meant to help our little ones. बहुत छोटे जो बच्चे होते हैं, उनकी जो reading habit है, जो reading skill है, I can see quite a lot of you who are in charge of primary grades right here. I can see a few of you who are nursery teachers. I can see a few of you who are PRTs. Mobile app, as I was saying, कि आप चाहे एंड्रॉइड पे हो, चाहे iOS पे हो, जहां पर भी आप ऐप स्टोर, प्ले स्टोर पर जाकर रीड अलोंग अगर सर्च करें, it can be a very, very helpful app in helping your kids develop a reading habit, right? Now, what do I mean by that? हम आई थिंक ये बात शायद मुझसे आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ये सब लोग अग्री करेंगे, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ अगर आप इंग्लिश टीचर हैं या नहीं है. आजकल हमारे बच्चों में रीडिंग स्किल कम हो रही है, थोड़ी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन इश्यूज बहुत ज्यादा होते जा रहे हैं, राइट? सो दिस इज प्रोबेबली समथिंग दैट कैन हेल्प यू एज अ टीचर, डेफिनेटली एज अ टीचर. इनफैक्ट इफ यू हैव योर ओन किड्स, अपने खुद के बच्चे हैं अगर घर पर, you can make use of that as well. Okay, as I said, a mobile app works in English, works in Hindi. The mobile app works in almost all of our major Indian languages. हमारी मलयालम, तमिल, तेलुगु, गुजराती, बांग्ला, मराठी. अगर आप अपने बच्चों को, let's say, and also this happens a lot with parents who are sitting in in metro cities. Maybe you belong to Maharashtra, but you're sitting in some North Indian city and you want your kids to learn Marathi. तो आप उस ऐप की मदद से मराठी सिखा सकते हैं, and so on and so forth for every language, right? As I said, all major Indian languages are available right there. Okay. Basically, there is an AI bot called Diya. As I said, originated in India. तो वो AI bot जो है वो बच्चे की हेल्प करती है. मैं अगर रीडिंग करना स्टार्ट करती हूँ, मैं किसी वर्ड पर फंस जाती हूँ, तो दिया इज गोइंग टू हेल्प मी. दिया इज गोइंग टू से अच्छा इसको ऐसे प्रोनाउंस कीजिए, बच्चा प्रोनाउंस करेगा और फिर वो स्टोरी आगे बढ़ेगा, राइट? इनफैक्ट ऑल राइट, आई एम रियली सॉरी फॉर दैट. थोड़ा सा या देयर वाज एन इशू एट माय एंड. Give me one more minute, please. Just coming on. Give me 1 minute. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience. Don't worry. There was an issue at my end. Don't worry about that. Absolutely not a problem. Just a minute. Okay, there you go. Okay. Right. As I was saying, I'll repeat myself. Read along is a separate mobile app. अगर आप चाहें तो आप अपने फोन में डाउनलोड करके अपने स्टूडेंट्स को, अपने खुद के बच्चों को, यू कैन हेल्प देम आउट, राइट? दैट्स वन थिंग. Now, Google Classroom has been integrated within, I'm so sorry, Read Along has been integrated within Google Classroom, right? Now, Read Along as a separate mobile app can very well be used by anybody and everybody, regardless of the language. Google Classroom में अभी थोड़ा सा English वाला limitation है, but again, other languages are coming very, very soon, right? So I am just going to play this little video for all of you and you will understand what I'm talking about. Just in case आप लोगों ने read along के बारे में पहले नहीं सुना है, so you will just understand immediately what exactly am I talking about. Let me just play this little video for you.
Bill chokes the.
To get reading help, tap the word checks.
Checks the shed
Read this out loud. Shed.
Shed. Bess is on aunt.
Not
Not
there.
there.
Well done, you got that.
Bess uh, are
Where?
here.
राइट, यू गेट द पॉइंट नाउ. हो क्या रहा है, वो बच्ची रीड करने की कोशिश कर रही है और जहां जहां वो अटक रही है, चाहे वो कभी कभी होता है बच्चा वर्ड रीड ही नहीं कर पा रहा, कभी कभी होता है कि बच्चा रीड गलत कर रहा है, तो वॉट एवर इट इज, देर इज दिया, द एनिमेटेड AI bot who is reading along with the child, right? In fact, I am just going to right away, I'm going to take you to a Google Classroom and I'm going to show you how it looks like within a Google Classroom. All right. Okay, there you go. This is a Google Classroom that I have. And sorry for that, but एक मैथ का Google Classroom बना हुआ है, लेकिन उसमें मैं सिर्फ demonstration purposes के लिए I'm going to use that read along thing. I'm pretty sure basics is something everybody is aware about. Google Classroom में assignments कैसे create करते हैं, right? I'm going to go under classwork, going to click on the create button, going to click on assignment, and I have this option right here, which is read along. Okay, sorry. थोड़ा सा मेरी screen, let me try turning off my camera for a while. Okay, there you go. This one right here. Right? Clicking on this read along. Right. As you see right here, there are quite a lot of stories available. Right? अगर आप लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पर ध्यान दें, जैसे मैंने कहा अभी हमारे लिए सिर्फ इंग्लिश तक लिमिटेड है, लेकिन अगर हमारे पास यहाँ पर कुछ, आई नो काफी स्कूल्स में स्पेनिश भी पढ़ाई जाती है, तो यू कैन वेरी वेल मेक यूज ऑफ इट. पोर्चुगीज आई डोंट थिंक इंडियन स्कूल्स में बहुत ज्यादा है, पर स्पेनिश टीचर्स डेफिनेटली यूज कर सकते हैं. बाकी लैंग्वेजेस मोबाइल ऐप में डेफिनेटली अवेलेबल है, अभी आपके गूगल क्लासरूम वाले इंटीग्रेशन में अवेलेबल नहीं है. राइट, ओके, मूविंग ऑन. यहाँ पर मेरे पास तरीके हैं कि मैं फिल्टर कर सकूं. राइट, आई कैन फिल्टर माई स्टोरीज बेस्ड ऑन द लेक्साइल मेजर, कि बच्चा किस लेवल पर है, किस रीडिंग लेवल पर है. और जैसे मैंने पहले ही कहा कि हमारे पास बहुत सारे प्राइमरी टीचर्स हैं, नर्सरी टीचर्स हैं. यस, डेफिनेटली आई एम वेरी श्योर, वेरी ऑब्वियसली सो, कि ये नर्सरी टीचर्स के लिए कैसे यूजफुल रहेगा. राइट, लेकिन बहुत बार ऐसा होता है, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट दैट यू टीच, आप जब लेट्स से you're टीचिंग लाइक अ 6th or 7th ग्रेडर, लेकिन हो सकता है वहां पर भी बच्चे हैं कुछ, देयर आर सम लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटीज दैट दे आर फेसिंग, और देर लैगिंग बिहाइंड, और आप सिर्फ उन 2-4 बच्चों को रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस देना चाहते हैं. आई एम श्योर दिस हैपेंस इन एवरी स्कूल, इन एवरी स्टेट. राइट, कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जो क्लास में थोड़े से आई मीन देर struggling a bit. Right here is one way that you can help them out, regardless of whether they are primary kids or not. Right, yahan se I can choose the Lexile measure, or I can choose the level, which grade do they belong to. Right, हो सकता है मेरे को Lexile measure के हिसाब से मिल जाए. Choose one story. Okay, choosing one story from right here, I am going to click on attach. And one small thing that I always say for for any kind of assignment that you send out to your students, always try the student view. That's something very, very important to do. You need to check how does it look like, how is the student going to see it. Right, I click on try student view, and I'm going to show you, let me show you how, as I'm going to speak, it's going to take a note. All right, let's try. Read along. Okay, शायद मेरी तरफ से sound बंद है.
Tap the language you want your children to learn to read.
Right, this what you see right here is something that has been opened in the mobile app. मैं फिर से एक बारी, I understand this can be a little confusing. Since I'm using a Chromebook, तो मेरे पास वो read along की app integrated है, right? And that's why I can see all the languages right there. Otherwise, just making it very, very clear, you will not see other languages right here. It has just taken me to a read along mobile app, and it has taken me to a read along app, and that's why I can see the other languages, right? Let's just try it once more, and I can show you the feature. How will it look like? Just making it very, very clear, it will not open up with different languages in other situations. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Give me one more second. Okay, there you go. This is how it will look like. I'm just going to repeat myself once again, just in case anybody is confused. जो आपको languages दिखी थी, वो since it just took the app by default, since I'm on a Chromebook, it will not happen on any other device, right? Okay, coming back, I can start reading.
Let's read. Creatures of old.
The sun had just set, and the
Read this out loud. Forest.
You understand? As soon as I was stuck with a particular word, it started helping me. This particular character Diya started helping me, and it's going to happen the same way. अगर मैं कोई word गलत बोल देती हूँ, right? अगर मैं कोई word में अटक जाती हूँ, it's going to help me out. I just have to read along with Diya, and that's the whole idea behind this particular skill. And just in case somebody is wondering, when you use read along within the Google Classroom, you will get to see each and every insight about what your students have done. Now, what does that mean? It basically means मेरी क्लास में 40 बच्चे हैं, मैंने एक वीडियो या फिर मैंने एक स्टोरी बनाकर बच्चों को भेजी. सबसे पहले तरीके की रिपोर्ट जो मुझे मिलेगी will be all students reading report, right? It's going to tell me मेरी क्लास के बच्चे कैसा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. I'm going to see, okay, how what are the common words that all my kids are struggling with. ये मुझे एक all students reading report मिली है. And then I will also get to see student wise, अच्छा ये वाला particular बच्चा कैसा कर रहा है, उसकी accuracy कितनी है, उसके वो particular बच्चा कौन से words पे अटक रहा है, अगर कुछ रीडिंग मटेरियल में कॉम्प्रिहेंशन क्वेश्चंस थे वो बच्चा कर पाया या नहीं कर पाया. Look at this, the speed at which he or she was able to read. All these things will be given to me. I will get a proper progress report, an individual progress report as well, right? So that's something that it definitely can help you out with. And I'm just going to stop for a second here and just see. And remember, please, I had requested you, if there are any questions, please make sure you write them in the Q&A feature, because in the chat box, there are too many messages and I might just miss out on the messages. Yes, Sering sir, thank you. Thank you for asking that. I was anyway about to conclude with that particular point. Yes, this requires a teaching and learning upgrade or a Edu Plus license. So if you're a school who works on an Edu Plus license or a teaching and learning upgrade, you will be able to see this particular feature. All right. Let me check if there are any other questions that I can help you with. Read along only available for Google Workspace or other email. I'm not sure what you mean by this. Um, Google Read Along, as I said, as a mobile app is available on your Play Store or your App Store, whatever it is that you use, Android or iOS. Um, but yes, you will require a Google account to be able to access it. And if you want to use it with the Google Classroom, definitely Google Workspace, either a teaching and learning upgrade or an Edu Plus license. I hope, Jayashree ma'am, I have answered your question as well. How can we give assessments while integrating read along? Geetika ma'am, as I said, um, you have, you can give out assessments. It could be in terms of just giving the child a story to read, and as I've been showing, you will get to see, okay, how is the child performing, how is he able to what's the progress like. If you see right here, this is one option that can give me the progress as well, right? So if I have been sending, let's say as the English teacher, I send out a story every week or every 15 days, right? So I will see a progress report as well. Okay, where has my child reached now? Is the accuracy increasing? Is the accuracy decreasing? So on and so forth. I hope that answers your question. So I do not see any more questions in my Q&A option, and again I'm requesting others as well. If there are any questions, please write them in the Q&A feature, because there are too many chats, and I'm sorry, I will not be able to read them if you're putting in questions in the chat box. Right, because right now on my screen I can only see introductions from all of you, and I might just miss out on an important question, and that's why I'm saying repeatedly, please put it in the Q&A feature. Perfect. Moving on to the next feature. And yes, just as I talked about read along as well, a feature that's available in the teaching and learning upgrade or the Edu Plus license. Practice set is another such feature that's available in both these licenses. So if you're a school who's using Google Workspace for education, you will have to upgrade to either of these licenses to be able to access both these features. Okay, moving on to practice set. Now practice set is something, if I put it in simple words, is basically an AI based quiz. It's an AI made quiz, it's an AI enabled quiz, right? It just helps teachers in saving a lot of time, making their grading easier. Now I'm very sure this is something ये सारे teachers का pain point होता है, और शायद अभी भी चल ही रहा होगा. जो corrections वाला काम है ना, वो सबसे ज्यादा painful लगता है सब लोगों को, right? I completely understand, and I see a lot of teachers being like, okay, पढ़ा लेंगे, corrections नहीं हो पा रही है, right? So grading is something that can be very smooth in this particular situation, and it gives you a lot of built-in hints created by AI, right? And of course, from the students end, it will give them a real-time feedback, it will give them visual explainers, it's also going to give them a lot of tries. It is, it gives a little gamified manner in which the students can read, and they can see, okay, oh, very good, well done, that kind of एक बहुत अच्छा सा atmosphere create हो जाता है बच्चों के लिए, right? So I am again going to take you back into a Google Classroom, and we are going to create a practice set right away. One major thing to remember while addressing practice sets, it is basically meant for a lot of self-reflection by the student, right? No, we are in an Indian scenario. शायद हमारे लिए, देखिए, this is something, let's just face the reality. Most of our boards, educational boards, whatever it is that you follow, we will have a terminal exam and a final exam at the end, right? तो yes, उसका substitute नहीं है ये, being very honest with you. लेकिन किसका substitute है? It's a substitute for giving in those little tests and those little assessments that I need to have. If it's also a substitute of those revision tests that you need to give. वो वाला जो टाइम होता है ना, जो हर बार जुलाई एंड अगस्त वाला और फरवरी वाला, जब आपको लगने लगता है कि करेक्शंस का पाइल बन रहा है और रिवीजन टेस्ट भी दिया था, वो भी करेक्शन करना है, और आपको लग रहा है कि अरे रिवीजन टेस्ट दे क्यों दिया था मैंने इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस. So that's something that can help you out with. So what I'm going to do is I am going to again go to create button, and I'm going to create an assignment. and then we are going to create a practice set from right here. This option right here. Let me just एक basic सी quiz बना लेते हैं. Let's call it a GK quiz, right? This one right here, a practice set. Clicking on this, just all right. Okay, you look. If you see this new practice set, and remember, however many practice sets that I create, they remain to be in this practice set bank. तो होता क्या है कि अगर समझ लीजिए मैंने फर्स्ट टर्म में कोई प्रैक्टिस सेट बनाया था और ओके लेट्स से मैंने फ्रैक्शंस पे एक प्रैक्टिस सेट बनाया था फर्स्ट टर्म में और सारे बच्चों को दिया था, राइट? फाइनल टर्म में दिसंबर के टाइम पर मुझे रियलाइज होता है मेरी क्लास में ये 5 बच्चे हैं. दिस इज समथिंग आई एम श्योर मैथ और साइंस दोनों टीचर्स नो व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. दिसंबर में आपको रियलाइज होता है ओहो पढ़ा हम कुछ और रहे हैं लेकिन बच्चे को तो फ्रैक्शंस के बेसिक्स ही नहीं आते, राइट? So you kind of want to give those 5 kids a little practice about same ही चीज, you just want them to repeat once again. I can just pick up an older practice set and give it out to them as well, right? Okay, starting from this, and I'm going to name this, as I said, I'm going to call it GK quiz itself, right? And purely for the teachers, for the math and science teachers who have struggled for a very long time in the math typing, this is for them. The first question, I'm sticking to a math question, and as I said, it will be a GK quiz for the remaining part of it. Right here is something you will really love if you're a math or science teacher. I know what we've been through. जो math typing करने में जो struggles होती हैं कि अच्छा यहाँ से लेके आओ वहां से लेके आओ kind of thing. तो यहाँ पर ये जो मैथ कीबोर्ड है ना, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू पुट अ बेसिक क्वेश्चन, कैलकुलेट, इंसर्ट मैथ फॉर्मूला. ये रहा मेरे पास मैथ का कीबोर्ड एंड आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू ओपन इट. एंड एज यू सी राइट हियर, आई जस्ट जूम इन अ बिट. एज यू सी राइट हियर, जो भी आपको चाहिए, could be your log, your exponents, your fractions, your radicals, your anything that you might need, any kind of symbol that you might need, every single thing is right here. Right? जो भी degree, जो भी आपको चाहिए, all kinds of symbols are available, whatever grade it is that you teach, regardless of the grade, math and science teachers, every single thing you'll find here. I'm just going to stick to a super basic question, and I'm going to ask a question on 5 upon 7 plus 1 upon 7, keeping it super basic, right? Okay. Now right here is one option that I have this option of, I'm pretty sure this is something everybody knows, just like a Google form जो हमारे पास होता है, short answer question, paragraph question, multiple choice और check boxes. वहां पर Google form में multiple choice और check boxes कहते हैं, यहाँ पर single select और multi select कहते हैं. That's all. Works the same way. I'm going to choose a single select and I'm going to put in options. Now remember, you have the math keyboard in options as well. So I'm just going to put in some options. There you go. Let's just put in the answer. Chalo, ek option ye dal diya. I'll not spend too much time on the question. I'm not here to teach you math or GK or anything. I just want you to know that these are the features available. I will just putting in 2 options and keeping it ahead. Okay. Right. Now, one important thing is, of course, choosing the correct answer. Then coming to the magic part of it, यहाँ तक अगर आप देखेंगे तो pretty much like Google form जो quizzes हम बनाते हैं, right? यहाँ पर देखते हैं, if I come, this is something that I need to choose, skills. Let me click on C suggested और ये देखिएगा. Major topics, definitely math and science वाले तो सारे के सारे topics आपको मिल जाएंगे. For a language as well, you will find a lot of these topics already there. I'll tell you what I mean by choosing a skill. This is the skill that I want to focus on for this particular question, right? ध्यान दीजिएगा. This. So as soon as I chose the skill, मैंने जैसे ही skill choose करी, add fractions वाली, these resources have, the light bulb has lit up, and मेरे पास यहाँ पर कुछ resources दे दिए गए हैं, right? Now again, as I said, practice set, like many other Google Workspace tools, Workspace apps, is a work in progress. अगर आप इसको 6 महीने पहले देखते तो आपको काफी सारे skills अभी भी नहीं दिखते थे. I do hear this complaint from a lot of teachers who say that, okay, I'm teaching accountancy in grade 11 and 12 और उसके related मुझे skills नहीं मिल रहे, or maybe Hindi or maybe Sanskrit मुझे उससे particular skills नहीं मिल रहे. Yes, might not find it. Lekin, as I said, it's again a work in progress. All these languages and all these countries are being worked in, and we will have all these skills very soon. Agar nahi milta hai, so you can always add resources on your own as well. Now, why do I say that? If you see, I'll just show you how. यहाँ देखिएगा, उन्होंने एडिंग फ्रैक्शंस पे 2 वीडियोस मुझे खुद ही से ढूंढ कर दे दिए हैं, 2 यूट्यूब वीडियोस, राइट. These are going to act as hints for my students. Okay. Now let's say I know my 6th graders, my 5th graders जहां पर भी मैं फ्रैक्शंस पढ़ा रही हूँ, राइट. मुझे पता है, हो सकता है मुझे पता है यार ये वाली वीडियो मैंने थोड़े दिन पहले देखी थी, लेकिन वो वाली वीडियो मेरे बच्चों के लिए ठीक नहीं है. I know my kids. Practice set or Google Classroom doesn't know my kids, right? That's the whole point of the teacher being here, right? So what I can do is I can remove it, or I can add another resource from my end as well. Now resource could be in any form. Resource could also be a little hint, थोड़ा सा एक text कि make the denominator same. वैसे तो हमारे denominator same ही थे, but anyway छोटा सा एक hint डाल दिया कि make the denominator same, या फिर keep the denominator same and add the numerator. जो भी मैं छोटा सा एक hint डालना चाहती हूँ, एक text form में hint डाल दिया. Or I can go to a YouTube video and I can look for a YouTube video right here, right? And again coming here, extra help, ये देखिएगा यहाँ पर मुझे सारे resources मिलेंगे. We're going to add a few more questions now and you'll understand what I'm saying. Right now, of course, I have only one question in the practice set. जैसे जैसे मैं और quizzes, जैसे जैसे मैं और questions डालती जाऊंगी, मुझे यहाँ पर सारे resources दिखते जाएंगे. And if you see right here, under one question, I can add up to 10 resources. So regardless of whatever grade it is that you're teaching, you might have a lot of resources or a lot of hints that you might want to give to the children. If you're making a super difficult one, you can make use of these resources as well, right? So this is how, we are done with our first question, right? I am moving on and I want to show you a few more features right here. Let me just click on new question, and I hope some of you have already noticed right beside the feature, the math keyboard feature, is an insert image feature. Now this was a feature which was not available since, till about 2 weeks ago. मैंने कल ही ये practice set खोला और मुझे ये दिखा कि this is a feature that's here today. Let me just use, I can upload an image from my system. I have this little image right here. Identify the flag. Okay, keeping it super basic. I can pull up I can pull up an image from my drive as well, or I can upload it. And let's stick to making it a short answer question. ठीक है, यहाँ पर मुझे उन्होंने कहा है कि give the correct answer. Now I have given the correct answer. Resources भी बन के ready हो गए हैं. Something I'm pretty sure if you have used Google Forms a lot, you must have struggled with this. मेरा आंसर इंडिया है, ये मैंने टाइटल केस में लिखा हुआ है. लेकिन अगर बच्चा सारे कैपिटल में इंडिया लिख दे तो गलत तो नहीं है, but it's going to mark it as incorrect. We'll show you one small feature right here. यहाँ पर देखिएगा सबसे ऊपर settings के अंदर I have this ignore capitalization. Now, regardless of whether it's title case, whether it's all lowercase, whether it's anything and everything, it's going to ignore that capitalization and it's going to keep that as correct. तो अगर बच्चा सारे कैपिटल में लिख दे, छोटा लिख दे, बड़ा लिख दे, whatever it is, कई बार होता है बच्चे इंडिया के आगे एक फुल स्टॉप लगा दिया, आंसर तो गलत नहीं है. सो ये सारी चीजें वो सारी इग्नोर हो जाती हैं. एंड ऑल्सो एज यू सी राइट हियर ऑन टॉप, अगर आप कोई मैथ और साइंस स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन बना रहे हैं, आपका आंसर, आपने आंसर डाला है 1/2, आंसर तो 0.5 भी ठीक है ना. सो अगर बच्चे ने 0.5 लिख दिया और जैसे यहाँ पर देखिएगा x + y, आपने डाला आंसर की में x + y, बच्चे ने लिख दिया y + x, right? So it's going to mark all the equivalent answers as correct. So that's also something that it can help you out with, right? So let me just click on save, and that's all, right? Now, if you're wondering, this is a very, very valid and a very common question that I get all the time. मैम हमारे Google Forms ready हैं और हमने बहुत Google Forms use किए हैं in the COVID era. प्रैक्टिस सेट दिख तो बड़ा अच्छा रहा है, लेकिन अब इतनी मेहनत फिर से कौन करे? बने हुए हैं ना वो Google Form. You have that option of importing a Google Form from your drive as well. So I could be having a Google Form that's sitting in my drive, and I can just pull up a Google Form from the drive. Let me just look for a Google Form, a Google Form which is there. Okay. Now इसके अंदर जितने क्वेश्चंस है ना, वो सारे के सारे यहाँ पर इंपोर्ट हो जाएंगे विद द आंसर दैट आई हैड मार्क्ड इन दैट गूगल फॉर्म. यहाँ पर देखिएगा 15 क्वेश्चंस थे, इंक्लूडिंग नेम, क्लास वगैरह वाले क्वेश्चंस भी थे. तो और मैंने गूगल फॉर्म के अंदर भी सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन के क्वेश्चंस डाले हुए थे. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स यहाँ पर देखिएगा. मैंने दिस जीके क्विज जिससे मैंने इंपोर्ट किया है, वो एक फेस्टिवल्स पे बेस्ड क्विज बनी हुई थी. तो यहाँ पर वो सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस इंपोर्ट हो गए. ऑफ कोर्स एट एनी पॉइंट इन टाइम आई फील लाइक अरे नहीं, दिस क्वेश्चन इज नॉट रेलेवेंट फॉर माय प्रैक्टिस सेट. पहले के लिए ठीक था फॉर्म में, अभी नहीं चाहिए. आई कैन ऑलवेज डिलीट इट एट एनी पॉइंट इन टाइम, राइट? सो आई हैव द ऑप्शन टू इंपोर्ट from the existing Google Forms as well. And of course, I have the option to, let me just reload it once. I also have the option to import questions from a PDF, right? So I could be having a PDF. I'm sure all the teachers, especially the ones who've been teaching for long, they know, sorry, they have a lot of PDFs. बहुत बहुत जगह से आप लोगों ने resources इकट्ठे करके रखे हुए हैं, right? So I could be having a PDF. And let me just go to this. If you see, यहाँ से कुछ भी हो सकता है. मैं कुछ अपलोड कर सकती हूँ, अपनी ड्राइव से ले सकती हूँ, फॉर्म से ले सकती हूँ. I can do anything of that sort. So let me look for a PDF. Okay, I thought I'll find it. चलो मैं एक PDF यहाँ से लेकर, let's just pick one question, and this is a PDF of a Mahattattva textbook, and I'm just going to pick up a question from here. Now again, हो सकता है आपके पास कुछ ऐसा हो कि you want your kids to see, और हो सकता है NCERT में एक क्वेश्चन है जो आपको अपनी प्रैक्टिस सेट में यूज करना है. वहां पर कोई पैटर्न बना हुआ है जो आप you want your kids to observe that pattern and then answer, right? You can very well make use of it. चलिए, let me just take up this itself. And although this is meant for something else, but let me just make use of it. चलिए हम इसको ऐसे यूज कर लेते हैं. Import questions. Right, and let me say which of these is a polygon, right? So कोई PDF में से कुछ उठाना था, I can just make use of that, right? So let me click on option A and option B, right? So I could be having such a Google form that's ready with me, and I can just make use of that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly scroll through, क्योंकि मैंने जो Google form इसमें import किया था, उसमें कुछ questions थे जिनमें there was no right or wrong answer. देखिए, what's your favorite festival में there was no right or wrong answer. Your name में there is no right or wrong answer. Of course Google form नहीं है तो मुझे बच्चे से नाम पूछने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. क्लासरूम में तो मुझे पता ही है whatever the name is going to get. I'm just going to delete these so that I can show you how it looks like at the teacher's end. थोड़ा सा इसको मैं कम कर रही हूँ ताकि हमें समझने में आसानी हो when I show it to you. Give me 1 second. There you go. Okay, I am going to do this and I'm going to try as a student first, right? And remember, when I click on try as a student, it is going to show me exactly how it's going to look for a student, right? Let me just, okay, थोड़ा सा आज मेरी तरफ there is some issue. All right. Is my screen still visible? No, it's not. Give me 1 second, please. I will request you to give me a thumbs up if you start seeing my screen, whenever you start seeing my screen, please. Okay, I think it's on. Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Right. So there you go. This is how it's going to look for a child. ठीक है, बच्चे यहाँ पर देखेंगे और यहाँ से if they can start, okay, you have to calculate the sum of these fractions. One important feature right here, I can make use of this little whiteboard and do my calculations. हो सकता है बच्चे को कुछ लिख के काम करने की जरूरत है, right? They really need to write this 5/7 plus 1/7 and then do the calculation, right? They can make use of that and then choose. And let me just choose the incorrect answer and show you once. When I click on check, it of course is going to give me that the answer is incorrect. And this light bulb has again started blinking, right? So when I click on this, there you go. First hint comes up. Ek video aa jata hai ki acha, do you want to watch this video? I can watch this and I can understand, right? Let me click on this again and let me give the incorrect answer once again. Click on show a hint and there you go. The other hint that has come up. जो दूसरा hint डाला था, जो दूसरा वीडियो डाला था, वो आ जाएगा, right? तो I could be having 4-5 options हो सकता है मैंने डाले हो और बच्चा 4-5 बार गलती कर रहा है, तो हर बार एक नया hint is going to present itself to the child, right? So this is how it can very well help you with just making a self reflective assessment where the child just needs to go through basics. The child just needs to go through the basics of that particular chapter, that particular topic that you have taught, and then they can just kind of start working on it. And I'm just going to take you back to this. Once I'm done, I click on finished editing, which is going to make sure कि मेरा जो practice set है is going to get attached to that particular assignment, right? तो मैं जब असाइनमेंट भेजने वाली हूँ तो आई कैन जस्ट क्लिक ऑन जीके क्विज. मैंने टाइटल ऑलरेडी डाल दिया था. आई कैन जस्ट क्लिक की ओके अटेम्प्ट, से दैट अटेम्प्ट द अटैच्ड follow attached practice set, right? There you go, right? I can choose the topic, I can choose this. And one very interesting feature and a very very important feature that has come in, और मैं वापस वहीं पर जा रही हूँ जो मैंने पहले आप लोगों से personalization की बात करी थी. If you are a old Google Classroom user, you will know that यहाँ पर हमारे पास all students का option होता था कि मैं चाहती हूँ कि सारे 9 बच्चों को ना देकर मैं सिर्फ 2-3 बच्चों को दूं. मैं सब बच्चों को नहीं देना चाहती हूँ, right? That was one option that existed. Now उस केस में हमें क्या करना पड़ता था? Every single time that I have to give out this quiz or this extra work to my students, I had to click on separate students, right? Now this is one thing that has been introduced, that I can create a group. Basically, I may have a few students in my class who struggle a little more, right? Or maybe there could, now remember, when we talk about differentiation, this is a very common misunderstanding that happens across. हम हमेशा ये सोचते हैं कि क्लास में डिफरेंशिएशन करना है तो जो बच्चे स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं ना उनको हेल्प करनी है, उनके लिए करना है. व्हाई? देयर आर सम गिफ्टेड एंड टैलेंटेड स्टूडेंट्स एज वेल, हमें उनकी भी हेल्प करनी है. जो बच्चे शायद जो मैं कंटेंट पढ़ा रही हूँ उससे थोड़ा आगे पहुंच चुके हैं, मैं उनको बेसिक फ्रैक्शन ऐड करवाना सिखा रही हूँ, उनको पता है कि डिफरेंट डिनोमिनेटर्स फ्रैक्शन कैसे ऐड करते हैं, राइट? तो मुझे उनका भी तो ध्यान रखना है ना. So for my own self, I can just call it group A, group B, जिस भी तरीके से whatever works, whatever organizational way works in my head, I can create a group and I can keep it ready. कि ठीक है, मैं जब भी ये टॉपिक पढ़ाती हूँ ना, ये जो 4 बच्चे हैं वो हमेशा क्लास के आधी क्लास में ही अपना काम खत्म कर लेते हैं. So I want to give them some extra work at any point in time, right? So I have this option. I can choose कि चलो ठीक है, हर बार मैंने ग्रुप ए को एक्स्ट्रा काम दे दिया, या फिर ग्रुप बी जो मैंने बनाया है वो बच्चे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा स्ट्रगल करते हैं, उनको मैं होमवर्क में 4 क्वेश्चंस एक्स्ट्रा दे देती हूँ, राइट? So such a thing that can be very easily done right here. Something called groups that's going to really help us with the differentiation that is required. And of course, right here I have the option to assign, schedule, save as draft. I can very well do that, right? So this was all about practice sets. And again, like last time, I am going to stop for a second here and I'm just going to check if there are any questions. And I'm again going to repeat myself. Please, अगर आप कुछ question पूछ रहे हैं तो Q&A में पूछेगा. Can we share these feedback with the parents too? I think, Sandhya ma'am, I think you meant for the last read along के बारे में आप बात कर रहे हैं. But yes, either ways, you can definitely share this feedback with the parents. There is an option. आप अपना वहां से जो feedback बन के आता है read along, क्योंकि मैं time देख रही हूँ आपके question का, मुझे लग रहा है पहले की बात कर रहे हैं आप. So पहले का बन के आता है, and then, I mean, sorry, जो रिपोर्ट बन के आती है वो आपकी रीड अलोंग की बन के आती है टीचर के पास, एंड यू कैन जस्ट download it as a CSV and you can definitely share it with the parents as well. In fact, you also get to see insights on a practice set, and I'm just going to show you that. Is it for kids only? Can adults learn through this? Yogita ma'am, if you mean read along as a mobile app, definitely. I mean, if you're a person, हो सकता है आज मैं डिसाइड करती हूँ कि मुझे मलयालम सीखने में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है, I can just make use of that mobile app and I can learn. Mobile app में कहीं नहीं लिखा कि हमें सिर्फ छोटे बच्चों को देना है. You can always very well make use of it. Yogita ma'am, I will not be able to give you the exact number, how many Indian languages and how many foreign. As I said, major Indian languages जो हमारी हैं, from the top of my head, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Bangla, Marathi, I am a little doubtful about. Punjabi is there. Telugu I've already said. There's one more I'm missing out on. There are quite a lot, and definitely foreign languages तो आपने जितनी देखी, Spanish, Portuguese तो Google Classroom के अंदर ही है, और Spanish, French, and all these things are always very well available within the read along app. I'm sorry, I will not be able to give you the exact number of the languages. Subodhji, when you go to your Google Classroom, when you have an Edu Plus license or a Teaching and Learning Upgrade license, you will have to click on Classwork, you will have to click on the plus button, create button, and you will find the read along feature. Foreign languages are also available. Yes, Subodhji, definitely they are available. As I showed you, Google Classroom के अंदर ही Spanish और Portuguese तो है. आप ऐप पर जाएंगे तो आपके पास Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, ये सारी languages are very well available. Sering sir, I can definitely get back to you on this. I will mark your question because I don't handle the finances, but I can get you in touch with somebody who does. In fact, this is something I can tell to others as well, just in case you are also wondering about this. अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि Edu Plus license का costing कितनी रहती है, you can just drop me a mail, vibha@mahattattva.in. I'll share my email ID in a while. You can just drop me a mail and I can get you in touch with somebody who can help you out with that. Thanks, Sandhya ma'am. That's why I'd said very specifically. Licensing procedure, I've already answered, and my name is Vibha, Sandhya ma'am. Licensing procedure, just drop me a mail. मैं licenses का ध्यान नहीं रखती हूँ, तो मैं आप लोगों को कुछ भी गलत नहीं बताना चाहती, तो प्लीज मुझे एक मेल लिख दीजिएगा. I'll be able to get you in touch with the correct person. Absolutely, Sandhya ma'am, I can do that. And Sanya, if you're still on the call, if I may request you to drop my email ID in the chat box. I'm not sure if you are. Otherwise, I will do it at the end. Absolutely. Okay, so just going to show you the practice sets, the insights that you get with practice sets. I'm sorry, I missed out on that. और जैसे ही मैम ने पूछा कि parents के साथ share कर सकते हैं या नहीं, that's when I realized. So I'm just going to take you back to my Google Classroom. जैसे हमने रीड अलोंग के इंसाइट्स देखे थे, वैसे ही हमें प्रैक्टिस सेट्स के इंसाइट्स भी दिखते हैं. बेसिकली a teacher might want to know कि अच्छा मैंने ये 10 क्वेश्चन की जीके क्विज दे तो दी थी, लेकिन बच्चों ने कैसा किया है. मुझे प्रैक्टिस सेट के इनसाइट्स क्वेश्चन वाइज और स्टूडेंट वाइज सब कुछ दिख सकता है. नाउ यहाँ पर जो आप देख रहे हैं इज स्टूडेंट वाइज, सो आई एम सो सॉरी, क्वेश्चन वाइज, राइट. हो सकता है मैं जानना चाहती हूँ कि अच्छा पहला क्वेश्चन तो मेरे सारे बच्चे कर गए हैं, दूसरा क्वेश्चन एक ही बच्चे ने किया है, तो ये हो सकता है क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्ट है, हो सकता है ये टॉपिक मुझे रिवाइज करने की जरूरत है, राइट. सो आई कैन वेरी वेल मेक यूज ऑफ दिस इनसाइट क्वेश्चन वाइज कि एक क्वेश्चन में मेरी पूरी क्लास में कैसा परफॉर्मेंस चल रहा है, और आई कैन ऑलवेज गो अहेड एंड आई कैन चूज स्टूडेंट वाइज एक पर्टिकुलर स्टूडेंट ने कैसा परफॉर्म किया है. अगर आप यहाँ पर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पर देखें तो मुझे यहाँ पर लिखा आ रहा है कि अच्छा ये वाले स्टूडेंट ने इतने क्वेश्चंस गलत किए थे. ऑल्सो मुझे यहाँ पर भी एक छोटा सा एक पैराग्राफ में इनसाइट्स लिखे आ रहे हैं सेइंग दैट there were some students who tried multiple times, there were some students who left it. जिस भी तरीके के आपके पास प्रैक्टिस सॉरी जो स्टूडेंट्स होंगे, देयर विल बी स्टूडेंट्स जो एक क्वेश्चन करेंगे और छोड़ देंगे, देयर विल बी स्टूडेंट्स जो एक क्वेश्चन को 2-2 बार अटेम्प्ट करके सही आंसर लाकर फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे. So all these things, every single thing that happens, you will get to see the insights of those. Okay, just coming back and starting with the next feature and quickly ensuring if I have not missed out on any question. So Boji, I'm really sorry. मैं आपको, as I said, मैं आपको गलत amount नहीं बताना चाहती हूँ. So please drop me a mail. I can help you out with what's the costing of these licenses. All right. Coming to the next feature, which is interactive YouTube videos, interactive video assignments. Again, something that can be super duper helpful in terms of, again, all of us have been there, especially COVID time पर क्या होता था कि एक वीडियो मुझे बहुत अच्छा सा मिल गया है, फोटोसिंथेसिस पे वीडियो मिल गया, और मैं चाहती हूँ, मुझे पता है कि मेरे बच्चे ये 10 मिनट का वीडियो देख लेंगे ना, क्योंकि उसमें एनिमेशन इतनी अच्छी हो रखी है, आधा चैप्टर तो मेरा वहीं पे क्लियर हो जाएगा, बच्चों को सब कुछ समझ में आ जाएगा. लेकिन उन्होंने देखा या नहीं देखा, there's no way of knowing, right? So what I can do is I can make use of this feature, which is interactive video assignments. I'm going to take you back to my Google Classroom. I'm going to click on this create assignment, and right here is the YouTube button, right? I'm clicking on YouTube. There you go, right? चलिए photosynthesis ही ढूंढ लेते हैं. And just like practice sets, जितनी video assignments मेरी बनी हुई होंगी will show up right here. Okay, let's say I'm going to search for a YouTube video. Now right here I want to address a very very common question that's asked from me very often. YouTube से ही वीडियो ले सकते हैं या फिर हम अपना वीडियो भी अपलोड कर सकते हैं? आप अभी अपना वीडियो अपलोड नहीं कर सकते, but there's a workaround for that. अगर आपके पास कोई वीडियो एंड नथिंग लाइक द टीचर एक्चुअली एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट, अगर आपने खुद का वीडियो रिकॉर्ड किया है एंड यू वांट टू पुट दैट अप, आप उस वीडियो को यूट्यूब पर अपलोड कीजिए. इफ यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद मेकिंग इट पब्लिक, which is a very valid concern, not everybody is comfortable with doing that, right? If you're not comfortable, आप उसको अनलिस्टेड बना दीजिए, और फिर वहां से, since it's on YouTube now, वहां से आप वो वीडियो यहाँ पर इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं, and then you can start using it within the assignment, right? Let me click on one of these, and right here are two options. One is, हो सकता है मैं चाहती हूँ कि बच्चों के पास सिर्फ वीडियो चला जाए, मुझे और कुछ नहीं लेना देना उनसे, or I want to add some questions to the video. Now how do I do that? I will choose, okay, I want that, let's say, okay, there you go, I have some videos, or these are some auto generated. Now I'll tell you one small thing right here. ये एग्जैक्ट चीज जो मैं आप लोगों को दिखा रही हूँ, ये मैंने कल ही एक ग्रुप ऑफ टीचर्स के साथ दिखाई है, और कल जो मैंने उनको दिखाया था उसमें वी हैड टू क्रिएट क्वेश्चंस ऑन आवर ओन. और अगर आप, मैंने अभी अभी आप लोगों के सामने खोला है, देयर इज अनदर एआई फीचर दैट हैज कम इन, इट हैज क्रिएटेड क्वेश्चंस ऑन इट्स ओन. I'll tell you once before I tell you what it is about. Basically what's going to happen is, यहाँ पर ध्यान दीजिएगा, 13 मिनट का वीडियो है. What is the guarantee that children are going to watch the 13 minutes? What's going to happen is, यहां पर देखिएगा 20 सेकंड पर एक क्वेश्चन इंसर्टेड है, ठीक है। जैसे ही 20 सेकंड बच्चा वीडियो देखता है, लेट मी शो यू, द वीडियो इज गोइंग टू पॉज एंड दैट क्वेश्चन इज गोइंग टू पॉप अप। बच्चा जब तक उस क्वेश्चन का सही जवाब नहीं देगा, द वीडियो विल नॉट मूव ऑन, आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी वो वीडियो, राइट। लेट्स जस्ट सी, गिव मी 1 second, इट्स रीचिंग 20 seconds. There you go. Right? So I will have this stopping. Now remember, जैसे मैंने कहा, मैं डिसाइड कर सकती हूं कि कितनी देर बाद वो वीडियो रुके और उसके अंदर क्वेश्चंस पॉप अप हो जाएं। जब तक एज अ स्टूडेंट मैं देख रही हूँ फोटोसिंथेसिस, ही टॉक्स अबाउट फोटोसिंथेसिस, जब तक मैं सही जवाब नहीं दूंगी तब तक मैं अगले क्वेश्चन पे आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकती हूँ, राइट। एंड राइट हियर, एज आई टोल्ड यू, कल ही मैंने ये टीचर्स के साथ किया है, एंड वी हैड टू क्लिक ऑन दिस ऐड क्वेश्चन एंड वी हैड टू क्रिएट क्वेश्चन। मुझे खुद ही को सोचना पड़ा, अच्छा 20 सेकंड पे अगला एक क्वेश्चन डालती हूँ, फिर 50 सेकंड पे अगला क्वेश्चन डालती हूँ, फिर 1 मिनट 30 सेकंड पे अगला क्वेश्चन डालती हूँ, मुझे खुद सोचना पड़ा। नाउ देयर यू गो, इट इज ऑटो जनरेटेड ऑलरेडी। और इसने, अगर आप ध्यान दें, दिस सजेस्टेड क्वेश्चंस वाज ऑटो जनरेटेड बेस्ड ऑन द वीडियो कैप्शंस। जो यूट्यूब में कैप्शंस थे उस पे बेस्ड ऑटो जनरेटेड क्वेश्चंस बन गए हैं। Remember, I say this for every single group of teachers that I address. Yes, it's an amazing feature. It can help you a lot. लेकिन आपको चेक जरूर करना है, आपको वो चेक करना पड़ेगा कि वो सही क्वेश्चन है या नहीं है, वो सही आंसर है या नहीं है। मोर देन एवरीथिंग, आपको ये चेक करना पड़ेगा कि आपके बच्चों के लिए कॉन्टेक्चुअलाइज्ड है या नहीं है। आप जब फोटोसिंथेसिस की डेफिनेशन अपनी क्लास में कराते हैं तो क्या आप ग्लूकोज वर्ड यूज करके करवाते हैं? अगर नहीं, चेंज कीजिए उसको। वॉट एवर इट इज, यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, राइट। कभी कभी होता है हम टर्मिनोलॉजी थोड़ी सी अलग यूज करते हैं, हमारे सीबीएसई की, हमारी एनसीईआरटी की बुक्स में अलग टर्मिनोलॉजी है, मुझे अलग लैंग्वेज में पूछना है, सवाल वही पूछना है लेकिन अलग लैंग्वेज में पूछना है, right? So I can just click on these and I can check all the questions that have been created. And I know I have a few science teachers in my group. If I can get a thumbs up, are the questions making sense? You think that's something that's not completely absurd. शायद मुझे 2-4 वर्ड इधर उधर बदलने पड़े, लेकिन मेरे काम के हैं ये जो क्वेश्चंस बनाए गए हैं। और अगर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि 3 क्वेश्चंस बहुत कम है, 13 मिनट का वीडियो है, इसमें कुछ 10 क्वेश्चन तो होने चाहिए। इफ यू आर दैट टीचर, यू कैन वेरी वेल कम हियर, क्लिक ऑन ऐड क्वेश्चन, राइट। एक बारी हम जरा टाइम चूज कर लें, ऐड क्वेश्चन, राइट। my question has an error. What's the error? Okay, let me check once more. Okay, there you go. What is, sorry, मैं science teacher नहीं हूँ, and I'm sorry science teachers, I'm just going to write one super basic question. What is photosynthesis? The process of plants making food for themselves. जो हम छोटे बच्चों को सिखाते हैं ना, making food for themselves. I'm just going to write a super basic definition. हम जो बच्चों को कहते हैं ना कि plants को भी खाना खाना होता है, and that's the process that we follow. So just going to pick up 2 random questions, 2 random options. Process of what say creating oxygen, वैसे सेम बात हो जाएगी, creating carbon dioxide कर देते हैं। Okay, right, so you get the point. I'm just going to skip on the other options right now. I can click on the correct option and make sure that's there, save and continue, right? Basically, as I said, मैं वीडियो के अंदर questions डाल रही हूँ, can make for a great homework, can make for a great revision assignment, that whatever it is. चलिए फर्स्ट टर्म आ रहा है, आप ये वीडियो देखिए, हमने ये जो 3-4 चैप्टर पढ़े हैं, ये 3-4 चैप्टर से रिलेटेड वीडियोस देखिए, क्वेश्चंस साथ साथ आंसर कीजिए, and there you go, there's a revision right there, right? In fact, of course, as I said, homework, as I said, revision assignments. Also, there are those times ना जब स्कूल में स्पेशली जब एग्जाम के जो आखिरी 2-3 दिन होते हैं, जो हमारी अटेंडेंस बहुत लो होती है, या फिर एनुअल डे के आसपास जब बच्चे कुछ आ रहे होते हैं, कुछ नहीं आ रहे होते हैं, आधे से ज्यादा बच्चे प्रैक्टिस में गए हुए होते हैं एनुअल डे की प्रैक्टिस में. So you have those times जब ऐसी वाली substitution मिल जाती है ना, it's very irritating. I completely get it कि अरे what to do now, how do I engage them in this time, right? So you can just very well, you know, I mean again I understand हर स्कूल में ये फैसिलिटी शायद ना हो, लेकिन अगर आप उनको कंप्यूटर लैब में ले जा सकते हैं या फिर आपके पास क्रोमबुक्स हैं स्कूल में which can kind of come into the class, just make a quick assignment of sorts, let them watch that video on their own, understand, answer the questions, and then you know, at least आपको भी full time teaching नहीं करनी है, and kids are also engaged in some manner. And just like read along and just like add a question, मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ करी है मैंने कहीं पर, अच्छा मैंने एक blank question add कर रखा है and that's why I'm not able to do it. Okay, let me just delete it. There you go. Okay, just like read along and just like practice set, मुझे यहाँ पर भी insights देखने को मिलेंगे. As the teacher I will get to know कि you know those 4 kids who are saying कि हाँ मैम मैंने वीडियो देख लिया है, मुझे पता चलेगा उन्होंने सिर्फ 20 सेकंड तक देखा था और जैसे ही पहला क्वेश्चन आया था they stopped watching. I will get to know every single thing. I will also get to know कि अच्छा एक ये बच्चा था जिसने पहला क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किया, पहली बार गलत किया, फिर दूसरी बार भी गलत किया, तीसरी बार में सही किया. I will also get to see कि अच्छा ये एक बच्चा था जिसने पूरा वीडियो 2 बार देखा, उसको शायद समझना होगा, उसको रिवाइज करना होगा, whatever it is. I will get to see every single insight that whatever my kid is doing, whatever my students are doing, I will get to see every single thing about that, right? I am again going to stop for a second and I'm going to check if I'm missing out any questions. Wonderful feature, interesting, used in, okay. Yes, Sandhya ma'am, thank you for saying that. If there are any teachers, not any, I'm pretty sure 90% of you, शायद कोविड टाइम्स में आप लोगों ने पढ़ाया होगा, एडपजल वाज अ हॉट फेवरेट टूल ऑफ ऑल टीचर्स. एडपजल से क्या होता था एग्जैक्टली जो मैंने अभी बताया, वीडियो के अंदर क्वेश्चंस इंसर्ट हो जाते थे, लेकिन एडपजल का स्ट्रगल क्या था, and it wasn't, you know, something that was very helpful after the COVID time. Struggle was that we couldn't create a classroom there. फिर बच्चों को बोलो वहां पर क्लासरूम क्रिएट किया है, आप वहां एडपजल में आकर ज्वाइन करो हमें, so on and so forth. I had to do so much of you know, running after them. So that's something that can be kind of negated right here, because I have all kids in one place and I have everything already. Yes, I agree, this is easier than Edpuzzle. I'm sorry, I have questions and I have chat box, and I said yes, Sandhya ma'am, experience during COVID and the kids found it interesting. Okay, I hope I'm not missing out on a question. Sandhya ma'am, if I may please request you to use the Q&A feature only for questions, because I'm missing out on questions this way. This feature is not available on Google Classroom. Please update me how to Renuka ma'am, if you're using a fundamentals account, you will not be able to see this. You will need a teaching and learning upgrade or an Edu Plus license to be able to access these features. I hope that answers your question. All right, I think I have okay. No worries, Sandhya ma'am, absolutely no problem. Okay, moving on to something again very interesting, and as I told you right at the start, Google Classroom is expanding, and it's expanding like anything. And as you saw, as I just mentioned, कल ही एक फीचर मुझे नहीं दिखा और आज एक फीचर मुझे दिखा है. This is one amazing thing that has come in, something called classroom add-ons. Now, pretty sure you are aware about add-ons in general. जैसे हमारे पास गूगल फॉर्म के अंदर एड-ऑन्स होते हैं, डॉक्स के अंदर एड-ऑन्स होते हैं, so on and so forth. I will have some things in Google Classroom as well, right? And I'm just going to play this short video for you, and then I'm going to discuss about where to get these from. There you go. Okay. All right, no worries. I see a few of you who are not able to hear it. That's perfectly fine. I'm just going to explain it for you. No problem. Okay. So what add-ons do is, add-ons are basically some external third-party apps. Again, going to come back to the Google Classroom, showing you how to create an assignment, right? And right here, if you notice, are the add-ons, right? Now, remember, as I said already, these are third-party apps. There are your Adobe Express, Google Arts and Culture, Edpuzzle, Pear Deck, Nearpod. You have quizzes, you have Canva, you have a lot of the third-party apps that we use a lot of times. They have been integrated within the Google Classroom. Now, how does that help? Basically, let's say I have an assignment that I want my kids to do using Adobe Express, right? I want them to use Adobe Express to create, let's say, a timeline of a history chapter that we have done, right? I can just click on this Adobe Express. It's going to create. So again, I will not have to ask my kids to go to their Adobe Express screens, give me the shareable link, share it in the classroom. It is just going to follow the same process that it follows for your docs and your slides, right? I can just have an Adobe Express design within my classroom. I can send it out. Kids can just attempt it. Kids can just kind of create their timeline on it and submit it back to me. We don't have to go to a third Chrome tab and open it, ask them to copy and paste and link and things like that. That just kind of negates all the steps that we need to follow, right? So that's something that can be super duper helpful. And as you see right here, these are the add-ons that are coming in. And if you follow the Google for Education newsletter, every newsletter that comes, there is a new add-on that has been added. And if you are a user of FigJam is also come into a Google Classroom add-on. It's there. It's now there. So you have all your Screencastify, Cami, book widgets, Edpuzzle, as I said already, Google Arts and Culture, Nearpod. All these things that you have are integrated within the Google Classroom for you, right? So the whole process of sending out an assignment and everything can be very, very easy. Okay. Moving on, and I can see a lot of you who are writing your email IDs in the chat box. I'm very sorry. May I know why is that? Because I will be sharing an attendance form with you. I'm really sorry. This is not how I'm going to be able to track your attendance. I will share an attendance form with you at the end, and I will request you all to fill that attendance form. मैं ऐसे ट्रैक नहीं कर पाऊंगी सारी अटेंडेंस. आई एम सॉरी. जस्ट इन केस अगर आपको ये लग रहा है कि अटेंडेंस ऐसे हो रही है, नहीं, सॉरी, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. आई एम ह्यूमन, आई कांट ट्रैक इट. मैं एक फॉर्म शेयर करूंगी, तो प्लीज आई रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू फिल अप दैट फॉर्म फॉर अस. Okay, moving on and moving towards the last section of our session today. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. I'm sorry, please chat box में अपने email IDs मत लिखिए. It is not going to help anybody. Also, when you write these email IDs in the chat box, you're just exposing your personal information to the world. Please don't do that. Not a really wise thing to do. अगर एक public platform पर होते हैं, so I am a Google certified trainer, and I'm sorry, I will not miss this opportunity to give this little information to all of you. आप जब भी किसी पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पर होते हैं और आप वहां पर उसमें अपना ईमेल आईडी और अपने फोन नंबर लिखने लग जाएं, तो वो कोई बहुत ज्यादा वाइज बात नहीं है, कोई समझदारी वाली चीज नहीं है. प्लीज वेट फॉर द अटेंडेंस फॉर्म. ओके, ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन टू अ फ्यू फीचर्स दैट आर, जैसे मैंने कहा, ये सारे फीचर्स एक हफ्ते पहले तक दे वर अपकमिंग फीचर्स, बट आई एम वेरी वेरी श्योर अगर आप गूगल क्लासरूम डेली बेसिस पे यूज करते हैं, एंड आई एम वेरी श्योर इवन आई कुड बी सरप्राइज, हो सकता है मैं क्लासरूम अभी खोलूं और ये फीचर आ चुका हो ऑलरेडी. सो as I said already, these are features that were top requested features. If you see very carefully, this is a feature that was requested कि अगर मेरे पास कोई काम है बच्चों का और मैं चाहती हूं कि गार्डियन को एक ईमेल चला जाए, not the guardian summary. Guardian summary is something I'm sure a lot of you are already aware about. We're not talking about guardian summary here. I am talking about mail regarding a particular, I'm sorry, I move to the next slide. Right, I'm talking about mail regarding a particular assignment for that particular day. So that is one feature that is coming in, कि आप वहीं से गार्डियन को एक मेल भेज सकते हैं saying that your child has done well, your child has not done well, so on and so forth regarding that particular assignment, right? That's one thing that's there. And this is coming up. This is coming up in all editions, regardless of fundamentals, regardless of EduPlus, whatever it is that you use. If you have an assignment, you want to share it with students, you have some submissions from students. आपके पास कुछ बच्चे हैं जिनके assignments missing हैं, कुछों के कुछों के आ गए हैं, कुछों के आपने ग्रेड कर दिए हैं. आप यहीं से अंडर द ग्रेड बुक, जो ग्रेड्स वाला हमारे पास टैब होता है, उसी के अंदर आप क्लिक करके यू कैन चूज. अच्छा, आप इस तरीके से उनको सेक्शंस दे सकते हैं, कैटेगरीज दे सकते हैं कि अच्छा, if he has 90 above marks, he moves to excellent. If he has 75 to 90, he moves to, sorry, outstanding pehle wala, then 75 to 90 will be excellent, so on and so forth. You can keep these grades, these categories ready, right? You can very well say, you can tell at the back end, आप अपने Google Classroom की settings में जाके कह सकते हैं कि अगर किसी बच्चे के मार्क्स मिसिंग होते हैं तो उसको 0 मार्क करना है. कभी कभी होता है ना, कुछ असाइनमेंट्स में हमें चाहिए कि नहीं किया तो 0 मार्क करना है, लेकिन कुछ असाइनमेंट्स में होता है कि अगर हो सकता है बच्चे की, मतलब अगर टर्मिनल एग्जाम में बच्चे ने नहीं अटेम्प्ट किया है, तो शायद वो बीमार था इसलिए नहीं अटेम्प्ट किया, तो हम एग्जेम्पशन देते हैं, एवरेज में वो काउंट नहीं करते, राइट? सो इन दैट केस आई माइट से कि अच्छा नहीं, मिसिंग है तो उसको मैनुअली मार्क करूंगी मैं, 0 मत मार्क करना, राइट? आई कैन हैव ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ दीज सेटिंग्स एट द बैक एंड, एंड एज आई सेड, आई कैन एक्चुअली make sure I click on, just under the grades I will have all these options of manually marking it as done, manually marking it as complete, and under the settings I will have the option to set categories ki acha, if I have 90 and above marks, goes under outstanding. तो जो end में report बन रही है वो इस particular assignment के लिए outstanding दिखनी चाहिए, मतलब बच्चे का लिए comment outstanding में दिखना चाहिए, right? And I can have of course, as I said, missing score को auto grade करना है या नहीं करना है, all these things I can have in one place. And I think that's all, and that's what the whole session was about. Basically the new features that have come in, and basically the new features that are about to come in. And I am again going to stop for a minute before I share the attendance link with all of you, and just going to check if I have missed out on any questions from your end. Give me 1 minute, please. Subodhji, not all. I would say 80% of what I've discussed is an upgrade version. But काफी सारे features जो मैंने बात करी है, वो सारे आपके फंडामेंटल्स में अवेलेबल भी हैं. कुछ जैसे मैंने साथ साथ बताया था, कुछ फंडामेंटल्स में भी अवेलेबल हैं. Okay. Send an email from Google Classroom only. Okay, sure. Sandhya ma'am, give me 1 second. I'll show you. गीतिका मैम, कैन आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू जूम इन फ्रॉम योर एंड, क्योंकि स्लाइड्स है, मैं जूम नहीं कर पाऊंगी इससे ज्यादा. आई कैन आस्क यू इफ अदर्स आर आल्सो स्ट्रगलिंग विद दिस. आप लोग प्लीज अपनी ही मीट स्क्रीन पर इफ यू कैन जूम इन, आपको मेरी स्क्रीन को थोड़ा सा और जूम इन कर लीजिए, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड. एंड दिस इज व्हाट इट लुक्स लाइक. संध्या मैम, जो ग्रेड्स होते हैं, यू कैन शेयर दोज ग्रेड्स विद द गार्डियन. गार्डियन समरी इज वन थिंग डेफिनेटली, but you can always send out group mails as well. So samajh lijiye, I'm sure if you are aware about Google Groups, what it does is it basically creates a, a, a group which I need to send out. Let's say I have a information that needs to be sent out to parents saying कि अच्छा 28 सितंबर को एक PTM है, तो मैं वो 40 पेरेंट्स 80 पेरेंट्स का ईमेल आईडी कॉपी पेस्ट करने से अच्छा I have one email ID that I can send out to. So similarly, guardian summary was one thing, and this is also going to create a guardian email ID, right? तो मेरे पास एक email ID है, मैं सारे पेरेंट्स को उससे भी भेज सकती हूँ. And of course, as I said, specific to an assignment, I want to send out some mails or something to the parents of my class. I can very well do that. Okay. Let me check if there are any questions, anything I have missed. Otherwise, I have shared the feedback form in the chat box. Please make sure you fill that in, and only the ones that I get. I mean, I will have to check. Whatever attendance that I get from here, we will be sharing the meet recording with you. But please make sure you fill in this form, because unless I get this form from you, unless I get this response from you, I will not be able to share it with you. And I'm just going to wait for exactly 1 minute, and I'm going to request you all to please turn on your cameras. Let's try and take a group picture, although we have a really huge group today. But let's try and take a group picture if possible. As I said, let's just going to take 1 minute if you are opening the feedback forms, or if you're combing and if you're putting your lipsticks and your things like those. Just be ready, because 1 minute we'll take a group picture. And also within the queries also of this particular feedback form, you can mention that you are interested in learning about the EduPlus licenses. I did see a few of you who were who were asking about the EduPlus licenses. तो अगर आप उसी फॉर्म के अंदर लिख देंगे कि आप उसमें इंटरेस्टेड हैं, तो हम लोग उस हिसाब से आपको we will reach out to you. Assessment for both. Preeti ma'am, if I've understood your question correctly, आप पूछ रहे हैं कि आप दो ग्रुप्स बनाना चाहते हैं, एवरेज बच्चों का और ब्राइट बच्चों का, and you want them to happen on the same screen at the same time. So no, not really. All right. Right. As I was saying, Preeti ma'am, the question that you were asking, no, not really. You can have separate assignments. You can have two separate groups, and you can send out your assessments separately for both groups. But no, you can't have them both in one screen. Sandhya ma'am, most welcome. Thank you for being here. Um Harpreet ma'am, it will be an individual summary that can be sent out to each parent. Thank you for asking that. That's a very, very valid question. And yes, it can be a separate individual summary that goes out. Nikki ji, please check the chat box. I have shared it in the chat box. Please check it. And right, so if I may request all of you to please turn on your camera. We would love to take a picture. Let me check how many of us are there.